How do you think the forthcoming project will be beneficial to strengthening the appeal of Sri Lanka's spices and other crops as a global market, not just for exports, but also in terms of a destination for foreign investment?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. I think as I mentioned, this morning, we started this journey with cinnamon, and we've been very successful in cinnamon, and I think we should all be really proud, on what has been achieved there. And yes, there are many, lessons to learn from that project that can be replicated in future projects, as I and also Dr. Da Silva mentioned in our earlier replies. But at the same time, I think we should not, dwell too much, upon that success. I think you should be more ambitious than that. We have also heard this morning that Sri Lanka, has more spices than cinnamon. That they have unique characteristics due to soil, due to quality, and Sri Lanka has real potential, to target niche markets that are, organic, that are, ethically sourced, that are certified, that are traceable, and so on. I think we heard various, presentations this morning there. I think the forthcoming project will be important in a sense that if you want to access markets, abroad, there are some requirements that are simply mandatory, and they relate to safety and quality. So if your product even wants to cross a border before it's even ending up on a shelf in a supermarket or a shop, it has to meet those basic, those mandatory safety and quality requirements. And that's precisely, where this, project will come in. It's almost like, a prerequisite, I would say, before you can start trading. And I think also that UNIDO, given its history in supporting the country on the cinnamon project, is also well placed to do that. In terms of the cinnamon, BGI, I think I agree also with you. It has, opened, the doors to many, more possibilities. Value addition. I also see kind of the backward linkages, for example, with the tourism industry. I think that's also very, very important. If I look at the forthcoming project, the world has changed also since we started the cinnamon project, which is now more than a decade, ago. Like you mentioned, we had a pandemic, in between, which also, changed a lot. There's also much more attention nowadays at policy levels in government, but I would say also with development partners on issues like gender inclusion. And perhaps we can all agree that next time we're coming together again to talk about the spice sector, that we should definitely see more women on this podium. Okay? So let's make that mark as well. I think we spoke about climate change. That's clearly something that's also coming up increasingly. And I think again, the project, will also be flexible enough, to take account of those climate change aspects, which are also going to have an impact on, safety and quality levels into account. But all of this will, of course, only, happen. And the public sector is committed. We've heard that today. The private sector is committed. We've heard that today as well. But it will only happen if there is additional support and from development partners also to support this effort in the future. And together with with UNIDO, we will reach out to those the development partners, really to make this project work for Sri Lanka and for the stakeholders on the ground, and their families, because ultimately they are the ultimate beneficiaries of this project. They should benefit from this. So, thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for those remarks.